What is up, survivors? We are back with another mod review. Today's mod review is going to be the Builder Helper mod. So this is a really cool mod that kind of expands upon game creative mode as far as admin creating buildings. Construction in general is going to make things a lot easier. Let's get right into it. So basically what this is going to do is unlock a hammer for you called the Building Helper. This has a customizable, very customizable I option, so you can change what level of buffs you're getting out of this. But essentially it's kind of like GCM mode, and if you're not familiar, GCM mode is a mode that you can use as an admin to kind of spawn in things to build. A lot of people use it for buildings and build videos. I've used it for all of our speed build videos for a lot of different options like that. But this build, it kind of adds on to that, making building structures a little bit easier for you. So basically you're going to you'll unlock this hammer, and it really just costs 1 thatch to make. That's all it is. You make the hammer, you hotkey the hammer down here, right? If I toggle this off, it breaks the hammer, right? And as we can see, my stats go back to normal stats. I have all this stuff in my inventory, and that's pretty much how that works. But if I have the hammer hotkeyed and I hit that one, it enables, it gives me, like, it says it's an admin rifle, but there's no real, well, I guess there actually is a rifle that you can actually use. That does a little bit cool, more so than the normal GCM rifle would normally do. Anyway, we can throw this down here too, so we can check that part out. But basically, this hammer, once activated, we can build whatever we want, spawn whatever buildings wherever we want, and just create something. So I just made this simple little house right here that's, you know, fairly simple concept, nothing too crazy to make. But this hammer, making it with this hammer, allowed me to put something like this together in minutes, which is pretty cool. So when this thing is toggled, you hit R on your keyboard, and what this does is pops up a list of all these structures. Now you can save these by building type to have them preloaded for you to pick from, but you can also type in anything inside of here. If I was looking for forges or whatever the case is, you can find it in here. So it's all in here. Like if you're looking for certain roofs, all your structures, everything structure related is going to be right here, and you can be able to spawn it in. So there's a couple different options once you find the thing you're looking for. So let's just say we're looking for wood foundations, right? I can either just click the wooden foundation straight from here and just start placing wooden foundations without needing to actually have the crafting materials in my inventory, or I can actually hit a number key on the keyboard ahead of time for the slot that I want it to go in. So let's say I want foundations on the 3. If I hit 3 beforehand and then click this guy, it throws 3 into that slot. R toggles this menu on and off. So if I toggle it back off again, I'm now outside of the menu. I can quick slot to the foundations and start placing them. Now, if you can see at the bottom, it says I have 20 foundations. If I go over that 20 foundations, because I've queued it with using this hammer, it will auto queue in another 20 afterwards, so that I don't need to go back and keep doing this. So if we hit R again, we come back in. Let's say I want walls. Well, I can just click on walls instead of hotkeying it and just do it that way too. So you have that option as well. You can just snap very quickly right back to this menu, place all the structures like normal. It's pretty simple. It's nothing too terribly complicated. It's game creative mode, but I think it flows so much better. This is really useful for builds. I think if you're doing builds, if you're testing a build, oftentimes I might get a base idea in my head that I think I want to play on our server or whatever the case is, but I don't know if I want to invest all the resources into just making it. So sometimes I'll just spin up single player and use something like game creative mode to test it out. Something like this mod in addition to that would kind of help out quite a lot. No, I just broke it by accident, so let's queue it back up. This does a lot of other different features too, and we can hit R just to show you exactly what I'm talking about. So in this help section, it actually lists all the features and how they all work right here. So you don't really need to look a whole lot of stuff up. Everything is right here, which is pretty cool. You have the option to destroy buildings. You can toggle the flight mode. You can have more of an admin control to give you a bunch of other options as well. Everything is in here. Just for starters, like I said, we can hotkey resources as well. We still have access to the blank rifle, which I can just point and shoot just like you would normally get in GCM, but I just might have just teleported myself into a tree. There we go. Oh man, I botched that up. Anywho, you can change this to the inspect or destroy, or the deforest, which is a pretty cool option. You shoot this thing in a general direction, and as you can see, all of my trees are gone, making builds super easy. This doesn't just do trees, it does a lot of the rocks and stuff too. It looks like the ground stuff will still stay there, but that's pretty much it. But if you're looking to clear a spot off to build in, this is an easy way to do it. So Super easy way to do it. Still got your blank, still got your inspect, still got your destroy. So it's kind of an advanced admin rifle when you have game creative mode on. Shift and then F will actually toggle a flight mode on and off. So you can toggle a flight mode to just fly around. If you're building something really tall, you can get up really high. And then shift and then hit an F again will drop you down to the bottom again. So not too terribly different from the way game creative mode currently works. So let's kind of talk about that, right? So let's turn this guy off. We're going to turn this off. Drop the hammer, drop everything. And then I'm just going to turn on GCM mode with the cheat space GCM, turn cheat GCM on. So right away we get our little rifle again, which is cool. But we only get the blank, the inspect, and the destroy. We don't get the deforest option. But the other thing that we want to pay close attention to is how things are queued up. So basically when you have GCM on, you still need to find whatever you're trying to build. Essentially this unlocks all the engrams for you, but you still need to find whatever it is you're trying to build. And sometimes in these menus it can be a little annoying in the default section. Kind of how some of the stone stuff that I got added later on has its own folder. You'd have to go to structures and then go to stone, find the thing you're looking for, toggle it around, and then drag and drop it or assign it to the queue, and then go through with actually placing it. That part is, it takes a little bit more time, and I know it doesn't sound like a whole lot right now, but if you're building something very vast, especially if you're like recording a bit like a build video or something, I think the hammer is definitely a bit more useful. I think it just streamlines everything for you a little bit better. Plus it does have a bunch of other features too. I would highly advise checking this one out if you enjoy building in Ark. I think it's really worth it. You can also favorite items as well. You can add items as your favorites. You can also pull up recent items to kind of help you out there. What's in your inventory, you could actually go through what's in your inventory instead and respawn that. Again, all your official stuff too. It looks like this mod works very well with other mods too, so if you have other building mods installed, these will show up in there and you'll be able to search and find those as well. And a quick search option will be able to pull everything up for you as well. Like I said, it's not, I think it's just enough to really streamline the building as far as Ark goes, especially if you're doing a lot of these test builds or speed builds or whatever the case is. Maybe you got a server and you just want everybody to build some crazy stuff. I mean, this is an easy way to do that. It also allows you as an admin to just spawn a lot of this stuff in for maybe other players if you're trying to give them stuff, or if you're building like an admin base or community, if it's more of like a themed PvE community center, making all of these things easier. Any aspect where you're building in, I think this mod definitely shines. It's a very simple mod, works well, plays nice with a lot of other mods. It's just better organized, it's better streamlined. The deforest option is amazing depending on where you're actually trying to build to. So I would definitely advise this one. But that is pretty much it, guys. That is the building helper mod. We will have a link to the Steam workshop in the description of the video so you guys can check that out. And as always, hit that like button, hit that sub button. I will see you guys on the next one.